Do I look crazy? Always, every single time. At least I'm consistent, y'all. Welcome back to the channel for another reading vlog. I actually would like to try and execute a 24-hour reading vlog this weekend. It is Friday. I have today, Saturday, and Sunday off of both work and mommy duties. She's at her grandma's, which means I'm just here by myself for 3 days straight. The last time I tried to do a reading vlog, I tried to do 12 hours, and I think it was a combination of too many hours and books that were not exactly like reading challenge friendly, in my opinion, like Empire of the Damned, I think it was. That's not a book you try to read in a 24-hour reading challenge. That's crazy. And I was like halfway through it. But anyways, I have better books this time in the sense of like, I think it'll be quicker for me to go through them. But I'm also trying to use this reading vlog to finish at least a couple of the books I'm in the middle of. So far, I'm in the middle of 5 books. The first one is on my Kindle, actually, so let's do that one first. I'll check it on my phone. The Kindle responsive time is so slow. It makes me anxious sometimes. I am reading an arc for an author. It's called In Another Universe, and I'm about 21% into that. So that's on my Kindle. And if at any point in time I get tired of holding a physical book, that'll be the book that I'm reading on my Kindle. The goal is to finish some books today. So we have 21% of In Another Universe. What else do we have over here? And then this is the stack of books that I'm currently in the middle of, like, that I would like to finish. These are my priority books to be finished. Because on that table over there, I'm also in the middle of A Poisoner's Tale and Long Shot. And when I say in the middle, I'm like 70 pages into one and 30 pages into the other. So just started them. But these books are the ones that I have made some serious progress in. Cyberpunk 2077, no coincidence. So I have about 5 hours left still in Cyberpunk. So that's 5 hours there. I know for a fact in Razorblade Tears, I think I only have like an hour and change because I am on chapter 35. So I'm on page 246 and the book is 319 pages. So yeah, I think that's less than 100 pages, obviously. So I have less than 100 pages left in this one. What else do we have over here? To Ride a Rising Storm. I've been mostly doing this on audiobook, and I kind of wouldn't mind to like read the last half of the book like immersion style because I really like the audiobook narrator. But yeah, this one I'm about 236 pages in. This is another one that I still think I have a long time left in. Let me check Libro. I'm a hoe when it comes to audiobooks. I have 4.5 hours left of this one, of To Ride a Rising Storm. So put that in this pile. And then Glassword is the last one on this list. I'm about 145. Yeah, 145 pages in. I've only been reading this physically. I do not love the audiobook, truthfully. So I will continue reading this with just my eyeballs. These are the 5 books that I would like to finish over the course of the next 3 days, which I definitely think it's doable. I have less than 100 pages in this. And the Glass Sword reads really quickly, as well as To Ride a Rising Storm. The Cyberpunk one does take me a little bit more brain power to get through for some reason. And I think it's because of the vernacular. Like, the way they speak is so futuristic that sometimes I'm like, what? and it takes me a second to like clock what they're saying. So I think that one is probably going to take me the longest to get through. If I'm being honest, like I might need to take breaks during this one because the speech kind of throws me off, which is crazy because I love Cyberpunk Edgerunners, like the show. I love it. And it's in the same universe, like the same vocabulary is being used. But for some reason, when I can't see their mouths moving and like put a face to it, I'm like, what? I don't know. These are the 3 books that I will try to get to if I'm done with all of those. In this pile, we have Mal Goes to War. And this was a gift from Lou. It's a sensational novel about the dangers of a catastrophic war over artificial intelligence. It's actually quite fitting, considering all of the AI training I've had to do at work recently. So this is an option, and this, I believe, is a standalone cosmic thriller. Techno thriller. My bad. This recommendation I got from Steph, Coffee Over Apples. There Is No Antimemetics Division. This one, I like have a basic understanding of it because of her review. Her review is why I want to read it. But I have not dug any deeper than that because I don't want it to be spoiled, and I almost kind of don't want to know more than that either. I do know it's a sci-fi, and I think it's a thriller, if I'm not mistaken. I don't... It says pitch perfect cosmic horror. I sampled the audiobook, and I just remember it was told in like via log notes. Like at the beginning were some log notes about some program or something, some project. And then the next chapter after that was like from somebody's perspective. I don't remember who it was or anything. And then after that was like more log notes. And I like stories that are told like that. Because I feel like you get like a more reactionary, well, is that a word? I don't know. You get more of the reactions from the characters when you're in their point of view, but when you're reading the log notes, it's really just like very clear-cut information. That sometimes will make me feel more dread than the character's dread itself, if that makes sense. Anyways, and then the last one that I just got the audiobook for is Her Hidden Fire. This is one of the 3 Fairy Loop books that I got. It's really fucking pretty. Like, I just think it's gorgeous. And like, look at the sprayed edges. These are the books that I will try to get to in this reading challenge, but they are not. It's not a guarantee. All right. What do we want to start with, though? Like, I kind of want to start with something I can finish right away. So we're going to start with Razorblade Tears and finish this up. And then we'll tackle what comes next after that. Like, if I start thinking about it too hard right now, I won't read any of these books. I can't keep doing it. The audiobook is like, I'm reading ahead of the audiobook narrator and it's at 2 already. Like, if I make it any faster than 2, I'm just gonna start losing my shit. So I'm just gonna eyeball read the rest of this because I, at no point in time, was guessing this person. I never, ever suspected this person of anything. What? Like 4 bombshells in the last like 5 or 6 pages. I'm like, I think I might have whiplash at this point, but like the good kind of whiplash where you're like, okay, wait, we gotta put this together because I need to know what happened. It occurred to Buddy Lee that anything could be a weapon if you were dedicated enough, even love, especially love. Okay, yes, I Cosby. No. 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 Stop. No! This is pissing me off. Oh, fuck you, S.A. Cosby. Wow. I had to change my shirt because of how much I had cried at the end of Razorblade Tears. It was really good, and I had to stop the timer too. So we're at 6 hours and 45 minutes left for the day. You know what it is? Like, I at no point in time expected this book to tear out my heart the way that it did, because when it started off somewhat bleak and sad. So it was kind of like, oh, like that's just the tone of the book. That's cool. The end of this book literally decimated me. It really did. But the end of the book took this from being like a 4-star read into that 5-star territory. Like, it was so incredibly impactful, and it was beautiful, but it was harrowing and heartbreaking, and it was bittersweet. And I loved every single moment of it, even though it took me like 6 months to read it. I started this in February, and then we found out about my grandpa, and I put it down. I just didn't really I didn't read for a while anyways, but then when I did start reading again, I was looking for things that were more lighthearted at first. And then since then, I've listened to it a couple of times on audiobook while I'm like doing something, but I haven't given it my full attention again since February. And to finish out the last couple of pages, like to read them and finish them out, wow, it was really good. It was really, really good. It's about two dads whose sons, they're married and they have a daughter. Their sons are murdered, and you find out at the beginning, and they're brutally murdered at that. So these dads take it upon themselves to figure out like who did it, what was the reason behind it. And it's pretty much a revenge story, but it's also so much more than that. Like, it deals with grief and generational trauma. It deals with regret and guilt and like what that looks like and how that plays out against your loved ones too. It was incredible. I would highly recommend. It's the first S.A. Cosby book that I have read and finished, and I loved it very much. It was really, really good. I don't know what I'm gonna read by them next or by him next. Um, Sheldina once mentioned Blacktop Wasteland, I think it is, and she said something about how like it gave her like Fast and Furious vibes, but thriller style. So I do want to read that one, and I did listen to a little bit of it back way in the day, like early last year. And I liked the narrator for that one too. So I would say if you could do this on audiobook, highly recommend. I'm somewhat glad I didn't do the end of this book on audiobook, because I think it would have messed me up so much worse. But if you could do this on audiobook, I would recommend. The narrator is fantastic. I think what I'm going to do next is switch gears and pick up To Ride a Rising Storm again. This is another one that I was doing on via audiobook pretty much the whole time. And I'm thinking maybe I could just kind of like immersion read some of the rest of this. At some point I will get up. Like, I'll keep going with the audiobook, but I will get up because I want to fold laundry really bad. I'm not ready just yet. I have to marinate in that feeling of wanting to fold laundry. But at some point I will fold laundry, and when I do that, I will just listen to the audiobook while I do it. Anakus can be so dense sometimes. Like, Theo was clearly trying to like eyeball talk. You know, like when you look at your friend and you're like, and like your friend understands, like, oh, okay, yeah. And then she didn't do that. She didn't do that. The boy was clearly trying to tell her something with his eyes, and she over here like, I don't like being given tests without preparation. And it's like, you can't prepare for everything in life, Anakus. All right. We are stopping the timer with 2 hours and 6 minutes left on it. At this rate, I probably won't be done reading until like 10 o'clock at night. I finished my second book, which is To Ride a Rising Storm. I really enjoyed it. I was getting incredibly frustrated with Anna Koos, I'm not going to lie. She was just being so stubborn. And let me tell you, there's a lot of things somebody could be that are way worse than being stubborn. But like in a fictional book, in a fictional world, her stubbornness was really starting to grate on my nerves. But the cast of characters is really diverse, and I feel like they all bring something to the table. They all balance each other out. They balance Anna Koos out quite a bit for me. But yeah, I need to take a break. It is 5:01. I need to take a little bit of a break from reading, which I have taken like little mini breaks. Like I've taken like 10, 15 minutes here and there in between books and stuff, but I need a break. My eyes are tired of reading words and my ears are tired of hearing words. And for some reason, I just keep like breaking out into tears. Please don't ask me what's wrong because I can't tell you. I don't know if it's from Razorblade Tears or if something else happened to me and I just don't recall, but multiple times while listening and reading to that book, I just like burst into tears and I'm like, there's nothing sad going on in this book right now. So I don't know what my deal is. I think maybe I need to take a nap. I look crazy, guys. I'm going to do my hair before I come back. I'm going to do my hair before I come back on this camera, truthfully, because I look insane. Guys, this book is fucking creepy. This book is creepy. I don't remember like what the synopsis says, and I don't really want to read it because I don't want to. Like I prefer just going into it not knowing. But so far, I'm only on page 19, and at the beginning was this like log note, and it was talking about a specimen or something like that, and how this specimen was something that you could see, like when you were in its presence, you could see it, you could document it, like you could form thoughts about it. But as soon as you left its presence and like left the room that it was in, the thoughts would like leak out of your brain. So like you would be unable to remember anything about it and stuff like that. Or like if you wrote down something about it, like whatever you wrote down when it made sense to you when you read it in the room with it. But as soon as you leave its presence, like it turns into like hieroglyphics and like nobody knows, not even you know what you wrote initially. So it's a very interesting concept, to be honest. It's kind of like one of those things where like maybe I shouldn't look at it. Anyways, this lady gets called in to an office and she has to basically like the head honcho in the office is like really annoyed with her. He's like, who are you? Where are you coming from? You're a spy. And she's like, I'm your coworker. And you missed your dose of your pill that you're supposed to take every 12 hours so that you don't forget this shit. And you forgot it. And now I have to explain it to you again. But I'm your coworker. And it's just really interesting to me because I don't want to read it. I don't even want to read it because I'm scared. These things are called unknowns. And it's anywhere from like a monster to one of these like mimetic things. I think it's what they referenced it as. This like mimetic creature or entity that makes you forget about it. You know, like you can't hold information about it in your head or whatever. But there's also ones that like travel from mind to mind with an idea. Like it speaks an idea into one mind. And I guess that person then speaks the idea and that idea travels. It's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. But she said, they're having a conversation, right? And he's asking her about like how many other antimemetic unknowns there are. It's antimemetics, not memetics. And I'm so scared. I can't even talk about it. She goes, most of the unknowns I've mentioned are safely contained, but some aren't. There are at least 2 of them in the room with us right now. Don't look. I said don't look. It's pointless. That just creeped me the fuck out. What do you mean there's 2 of them in the room? Don't look. Don't look. It's pointless. I'm scared. I don't know if I can keep reading. This was in the sci-fi section. If this turns out to be a horror, I'm gonna be kind of pissed. Like, if you know your shit is a horror book, then you need to put it in the horror section, because some of us might not pick it up. I probably still would have picked it up, but at least I would have been like, okay, I can't be mad at it scaring the shit out of me because it was in the horror section, but it was in the sci-fi section. I'm about to get really scared, and I don't want to be scared. I don't want to be scared. I don't want to be scared. I'm gonna be scared. I cheated last night a little bit. I ended up doing my fulfilling my 8 hours for the day yesterday. And then I got on and I was playing Apex with my brothers and my nephew. And like in between matches or like whenever I would swap out for one of them, because we can only play with trios and there's 4 of us, I was eyeball reading. There is no Antimemetics Division. So I am on chapter 3. I'm on page like 10. Oh no, I'm on page 116. And so yeah, I was not timing all those little bits of me like reading, so I don't know exactly how long it was. Probably like another half hour, an hour, but we are gonna start up today's challenge just like yesterday. We're gonna aim for 8 hours. Where is it? Apple loves to fuck with me. Apple loves to mess with me. We are going to do another 8 hours today. And honestly, the sci-fi is kind of dominating this reading challenge, if I'm being honest, because here, I started the timer. Should be done by 5:24. I don't intend to pause the timer as much as I did yesterday. They're just going to be little breaks that are part of the 8 hours, I guess. But the sci-fi is dominating. Out of all 3 books I've read, this one has been like the most fun to read. Razorblade Tears has been the most emotionally devastating to read, though. I have got 2.5 hours left on the audiobook, so that's what we're going to start with. I have my cup of coffee that I made. Hopefully still hot. It's hot. That's a big step of something really hot. And we're going to get to reading. I do have to say, if you are somebody that partakes in gardening, I think it's such a silly name for that, but whatever. I know it has to do because of like guardian. I know we say gardening because of the rules on social media platforms, but if you partake, you should definitely partake and read this and listen to it because it's so good. There was a part of this though last night where like, and it says it at the beginning, there are parts that are redacted, either in the log notes or like, yeah, it's usually in the log notes, you see. It'll be like redacted. And what the audiobook does is like during those redacted pieces, it plays like a little bit of static. I don't know if I had missed every other time the static had played. Because, sometimes you get into like a flow state when you're reading and you're just like, I don't know if I missed the static prior. But at one point last night I was reading and I heard the static in my ears. I screamed. I screamed at the top of my lungs. Because it just came out of left field for me and I wasn't expecting it. And I was like, somebody's trying to break into my apartment. That's why the little bits that I was reading, I wasn't trying to do the audiobook because I was like, that actually scared the crap out of me. It's terrifying. Have these been on the whole night? No way. Did I leave my headphones on the whole night? Because today's going to be rough if that's the case. No, it says they're at 80%. Maybe I just turned them on. Oh, this book is fucking with me. Did I just turn them on or did I leave them on? Obviously, I didn't leave them on because it says they're at 80%. And if they had been on all night, they would be dead. Or they wouldn't be at 80%, right? Maybe I will read a romance after this. This is the second time in this book that somebody says, "Do you see?" And the next thing you know, they see the thing that they see, and they're not supposed to see it because once they see it, it can see them, and it doesn't like to be. And I'm just so sick of it. Like, can we just stop seeing shit? Like, can we just close our eyes and never open them up again? I just want it to be known. I would not survive a millisecond in the books that I read. I wouldn't survive. What? Mm-mm. They would say, "Do you see it now?" I'd be like, "No, I don't see shit. I don't see nothing. I'm blind as a bat." See what? I'm tired of seeing shit. Every time they see something, somebody dies. What the fuck? That staticky shit. That staticky shit is like too well placed. Scared the crap. This book is so trippy. If you're waiting for me to like finish this to tell you what it's about, I'm not going to. You need to just. It's a sci-fi horror. It is a sci-fi horror. It is disorienting and unsettling. That's all you need to know about it. If you want to read it, go for it. Do not read the dust jacket. Don't read the back of the book. Don't read the blurbs. Just crack that bitch open and read the page. It's so fucking weird, but it's really good. But it's terrifying. Like I feel like I'm seeing shit in my peripherals, and I'm like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to. Oh, I'm scared. I will be partaking while I read this today. I don't think you can see that in the camera. Hopefully not. Ooh. Mm. Oh, okay. I had to change my shirt. My breakfast sandwich had balsamic glaze on it. And when I went to take one of the bites, it just like spilled out onto my white t-shirt. So I can't wait to see what ends up happening with that. I'm almost at the end of There Is No Antimemetics Division. We have 10 minutes left. Holy shit. What the fuck? What? I finished the third book of the weekend. There Is No Antimemetics Division. And I don't even know if you could hear me. I finished the third book of the weekend. There Is No Antimemetics Division. This was a trip. It really was. I thoroughly enjoyed this though, because there's just this like unsettling feeling of dread that just keeps, I don't know like how to explain it, but every chapter, every page break, the dread just like, well, there's more and more of it. But at no point in time it almost feels overwhelming at one point, but then you kind of get a breath of fresh air and you're like, okay, no, we figured it out. But you didn't. Nothing. Nothing. It's not at all what you thought it was going to be, like at all. I don't know that there is anybody truthfully that can read this book and say, yeah, I totally guessed all of this and I can explain it. I would love to meet you. Truthfully, I would love to meet you because that's mind blowing to me. It's just one of those books where like you're not supposed to understand everything. You're not supposed to come out of it feeling like I get it. I can, like, I don't think that's the point of it. I think it's one of those books where the author just truly wants to make you a little uncomfortable. And they want to make you feel like maybe you're losing touch with reality, like the characters are losing touch with reality. But are they losing touch with reality? And like, how far have they lost it? And like, it's just really interesting. I would recommend reading it if you like horror and if you like science fiction. I would definitely recommend it. I would also recommend not reading any blurbs or synopsis about it. Like, just go in blind. Just go in blind. If you can get your hands on the audiobook, highly recommend. If not, it'll still be just as creepy, in my opinion. But this was good. This was a good read. So far we've had some solid reads. We had Razorblade Tears. I think I gave that one 5 stars on Fable, if I'm not mistaken. And then To Ride a Rising Storm, I'm still pondering my rating of that book. I feel like that might end up being like a 3.5 star for me, maybe 4. And then we have There Is No Antimemetics. I have no idea what I could possibly rate this, if I'm being honest. None. But yeah, I need to take a little break because I'm getting like, my eyes are starting to cross, and I just can't decide if I'm going to stop the timer while I take a break or if I'm just going to keep the timer going, because the whole point is to see how much I can read in 24 hours. So if I fall asleep during 24 hours, like, well, I guess not, because I cut it up into days. Nothing I'm saying makes sense. I'm going to finish my coffee. And figure out what I'm going to read next. I can't decide if I want to keep going with another sci-fi or if I want to just like eyeball read Glass Sword at this point. This is not a good angle, but it's fine. I did pause the timer because I took a break. I have 3.5 hours left on the timer. And I think at this point I'm 50% of the way through Glass Sword. I'm getting really aggravated with Mare. I feel like she's making decisions that feel icky. Sorry, trying to move you back a little bit. Not sure exactly how to like verbalize it without spoiling anything, because this is book 2 in a 4-book series. And a lot has happened. And I feel like if I tell you what's bothering me specifically, it would definitely spoil some stuff for the book at least. But yeah, I feel like Mare has gone through so much trauma since book 1. And she's been betrayed so much that it's starting to make her like, I don't know, it's changing her in a way that I don't love. And I have to keep reminding myself, like, this is only book 2 and there's still 2 more books, and both of them are bigger than this. The last one is thick. So, like, there's definitely room for character development and character growth. But she is starting to get on my nerves because not on my nerves like she's annoying, more so just like I strongly disagree with some of the decisions she's made. And I am a little disappointed in her for making those decisions. But This is really, really good. This is incredible. This is just, like I say, oh, it's like a typical YA fantasy. And it is in the sense of like, there's a bunch of kids running around trying to save the world, the kingdoms, right? And it just seems like they're kind of like overpowered as at the same time as being just children. But it's not just that. There is also just like, there's so much action and the political intrigue is incredible. I do have to say, like, the political conflict and intrigue is so well done. I'm having so much fun reading. It's just Mare is really starting to irk me. She's really starting to hurt my feelings, but I'm gonna press start. I'm gonna press start on that timer again, and we're gonna keep reading. And I don't know if I'll be able to finish this in the next 3.5 hours. I think so, because I think I only have like 200 pages left, but I have noticed a slight decrease in my reading speed after this morning. And yeah, so I'm going to try. I'm obviously not going to force myself to do anything because I want this to be fun. And it has been so far, actually. I think I did such a better job picking books this time around. Do you guys remember the first reading vlog? If you don't, I almost don't even want to tell you to go watch it. It was a struggle. It was a struggle, and I think I only finished a book. I think I only finished Summit Lake. I don't know that I finished anything else in that reading vlog, but that was hard. And it was because I picked books that were like entirely too dense and slow paced. I'm so glad that I picked better books this time around, or like more fast paced books. Not that those were bad, but I also think that reading so many different books is starting to make me a little tired. So I don't know how people do this. Like when people do reading vlogs like this, like 24 hours or whatever, I wonder if they go a couple of days afterwards not reading, because after that 24-hour vlog, I didn't read for like a week almost. I couldn't fathom picking up a book and reading it and actually being able to absorb all the details because I had absorbed so many details in the books I had read before that. So I don't know what'll happen after this one, but I'm kind of hoping that this takes me into the rest of the day and maybe even a little bit of tomorrow. Countdown. Oh no. That's tough. Oh, look at that. We still have 7 minutes. We still have 7 minutes. Um, damn. Damn. I don't know. I've only read the first like arc, like the first trilogy of Red Rising, but I have a hard time with characters who weaponize themselves, who are, fighting the upper class, trying to gain something for their people or something like that. And they seem to forget that the world is full of nuance. Like the world is one big ass spectrum. And that not everything of this can be bad and not everything of that can be good. And characters like that I just struggle with them quite a bit. Like if you've ever read the Red Rising trilogy or Red Queen, like there's entirely too many instances where these characters are like, you know, well, it's a bargain. My God, you can't bargain with people's lives. You can't bargain with people's lives. And I am so aggravated with Mare in this book. It's not even funny. I am so pissed off at her that it's actually not funny. But that's how I felt with Darrow in Golden Sun, I think it was. Right? I think it was Golden Sun when I started to get irritated with him. They're incredible characters, though. Like, what it takes to create characters that are so multi-layered and, like, morally ambiguous is incredible to me. Like, that is true talent. I can't help but be fucking aggravated with them, though. Like, I want to throat punch Mare right now. Like, bitch. It was really good. This was an incredible second book, though. Despite my issues and quarrels with Mare, this was an incredible second book. Like, oh, there's like a little bit of a glare from the lamp over there. That's better. It really doesn't suffer too much from like second book syndrome, like a lot of books or series do. So we have completed the fourth book of this weekend. And again, another banger, another one that I really enjoyed. But I am not going to be reading anything else tonight because I need a break. Like my poor brain is like, bitch, you have just been bombarding me with like plot twists and scary shit and conflict and tears. Like, give me a break. And I'm gonna give you a break. You earned it. You earned it, brain. I really want to go grab King's Cage. I want to go grab the third book off my shelf so bad. Don't do it. Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. I'm not gonna do it, girl. I ain't gonna do it. This afternoon, I decided to the fuck is trying to come out of my mouth. Good afternoon. I decided to start today's 8 hours later because I had to go grocery shopping. I had to get gas. I needed to stop at Target and get some toiletries. So I was like, there's only so early I can wake up because these places don't open that early. Like the grocery store Aldi's doesn't open until 9. Anyways, I'm starting a little bit late today. I don't know what my problem is because I didn't go to bed that late last night after we played video games. It was like 1 o'clock though. That's late for me. But I did definitely think it'd be even later than that. But I just woke up this morning and I'm like, what's going on? I kept forgetting things at Aldi's. Like I kept having to go back to the produce aisle because I kept forgetting stuff and it was starting to get on my nerves. I was trying to decide what I wanted to read last night so that when I started the video today or started today's portion, I would have an idea. And I really liked Mal Goes to War. I read like the first 5 pages of it and I really liked the way it was written. I don't know. It was very easy to like eyeball read too, which I would love. I don't really want to do another audiobook if I'm being honest. Like I don't like having stuff on my ears all the time. But then I also have this arc in another universe, and I have 4.5 hours left in it, based on like what it says on my Kindle. I was thinking of maybe reading the rest of this arc, and in that way, I can read the arc. I can send my review to the author, or post it, whatever. I think I just have to post it, right? I don't remember. I haven't read like an indie arc in a very long time. So I don't remember. I know I go on Goodreads and I go on Fable, but then you have to wait on Amazon until it's closer to publish date, or release date. So anyways, we're gonna start the timer. It is 12:53. I could wait until 1 o'clock on the dot, but I'm not going to. We're gonna start the timer and we are gonna read for 8 hours today. In another universe, so far it's giving romantic suspense, I think. There's an element of the story that I just don't know. Like you just don't know it right now, but we're following a young kid. I don't know. I'm getting the impression they probably are in like high school, like maybe junior, senior high school, and they have created an online profile for themselves, but the profile is vastly different from who they are in reality. The thing is though, I don't know. The online profile is a man or male, Zane. I don't I can't recall if the author has told us if the point of view that we're in, the main character, is male or female. So, like, I'm not really sure what's going on there, but the online profile is a male. He's, like, athletic and all that stuff, very nice and smart. But there seems to be, like, a disconnect between the main character and this profile that they've created for themselves. At first, it kind of felt a little manipulative, but now, as you've gotten to see the online persona have conversations with other people online, it's not really manipulation. A little bit. There is quite a bit of manipulation, but I think it also just stems from like a discontent that the main character has with himself. And I keep trying to hypothesize, like, is it a girl? Is it a female? But they, oh my God, how am I going to say this? I'm really sorry. I'm not good at like, I don't know, like I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm trying to figure out if it's someone transgender and that's what the main character identifies as, or if it's more so just like, is it a young guy who just doesn't like his life, so he's created the version of himself that he would prefer? You know what I mean? Or is the main character not a good person and they're just met? I don't know. Like, I can't figure it out. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to read for a little bit. The only thing is, on my phone, the formatting is very different from on my Kindle, and I don't really know how to fix that, but it is what it is. I'm 20% of the way in. We have 4.5 hours left, supposedly. We're going to read for a little bit. And I'm going to try not to fall asleep because I have a bad habit of falling asleep on this couch when I'm on it for too long. And I can't wait to move, you guys. I can't wait to move and have like more space. I really hope that's not too loud out there, but I'm looking for a 2-bedroom, ideally a 3-bedroom, because I work from home. So like I have my work desk set up and I really miss my old desk. She was beautiful. She was also very big, but I loved her so dearly. No one can say anything to me about that desk. But I would love to have a 3rd bedroom so that I could do my office and then my books in that space. And maybe depending on like how big the space is, I could even put like make a part of it also for Chunk. Like if she wants to come in there and like do like a quiet activity with me while I'm reading or something. But I also want her to have her own bedroom because we are at that point where we need our own space. I want my own bedroom as well. So I'm ideally looking for 3 bedrooms, but we will take 2. We will take 2 and that'll work. But I just am hoping for something with a little bit more character. I live in like a new build type of apartment building. So I'm the first person that's ever lived here and we've been here for 3.5 years. I like the convenience of it. There's parking, my washer dryer's in the unit. It's new build, so like nobody else was here. Everything was nice and new when we moved in. But this place just has no character. I feel like I live in a hotel room. Like that's what it feels like. And when you walk down the hallway, it just feels like a hotel. I don't know. I don't love it. So I'm hoping to find something with a little bit more character. I would love if I could find like a small home, even if it's only 2 bedrooms. Yes, just so that we could have a yard and have more space. And having toddlers is tough because like I can only tell my kid to sit still for so long. Like she can't spend the whole day just sitting in one place. But toddlers, for some reason, sound like a stampede of elephants wherever they go. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but no matter what she's doing, she's fucking loud. Do like, I start to get annoyed at the fact that, like, I almost feel like we might be bothering neighbors because of if she's too loud. Mind you, she doesn't run around screeching, but, like, we went through that phase where we had tantrums every single day. I can only imagine if my neighbors could hear how annoyed they were, but, like, I can only worry about so much. So it would be great if I could find, like, a nice little home, even if she's on the smaller side. Yes, we'll take it. And maybe even, like, a yard, but that's not, like, a thing out here. Out here, it's a lot of multifamilies and then, like, apartment buildings or complexes. So, I don't know. But we're looking for a new place, and I can't wait to find it because I'm really sick of this place. Like, I'm so aggravated with this apartment. And it's just because we've outgrown it. We have outgrown it so much, and I don't know. It's just not comfortable anymore. But now that I'm done with that tangent, I don't know why I went off on that, to be honest. But thank you for listening. Let's read. Let's read. I'm probably going to have to get up and make myself a coffee in a little bit because I'm tired. Why did I pause for so long? I thought I was going to say something more melodramatic, and then I just said tired. I'm like, what? I don't know. I might lay down to read. It's dangerous. I might lay down. I washed all the comforters while my daughter was gone, so I might put my head on one of these and read like this. That's the good thing about a Kindle. You could read that bitch like this. She not going nowhere. All right, I'm done. I'm done stalling. We finished In Another Universe, which was that it was an arc that I was kindly sent by an indie author for a review, and it was good. It was really good. I teared up quite a bit at the end, actually. I really don't know what detail to give because I feel like the story has a little bit of like it's kind of like shrouded in mystery for a while. Um so I feel like anything I say might give away something else inadvertently. I will say it is a coming of age story and it deals with finding yourself and then kind of having to navigate first relationships, especially toxic relationships when you're so young, trying to figure out like how to remain true to yourself through all of that. And it's also about the bonds that we create with people when we're young and when we're kind of at our most vulnerable, I would think, is I don't know, like I thought it was well executed. I really liked it. I liked the ending of it especially. There were a couple of times where I feel like it was kind of meandering, like we were suddenly just talking about something else in the scene versus trying to like continue moving the plot forward, but I don't know, it didn't bother me that much. Like I just kept reading. You know what I mean? Like it didn't take away from my enjoyment of the story, so I'm really glad that I read that actually. Now I just have to figure out where I'm supposed to post my reviews. We have just under 4 hours left on the timer. I'm actually going to pause it because I do intend to take like a 20-minute break right now actually. And then what are we reading next? So this is my thing, right? This is what I just realized. Of my June TBR, I only have one book left. All of the rest of them I have read already. Three of them in this vlog. So I'm thinking like, do I just read Longshot? Do I read Longshot and then I can finish out my June TBR with this vlog? I mean, I don't think I can read Longshot in 4 hours, of course, but you know what I mean? Like, should I just finish it? But I don't think I want a romance. Like I've really been eyeballing this techno thriller that Lou gave me. I don't know. I just don't want to read a romance, to be honest. Not like a heavy, a romance. Like I could do like a fantasy romance, like something with a subplot or something like that. But I can't do a romance right now. Like my brain is just not is not with the shits when it comes to romance. So I was thinking I could either read Mal Goes to War or I could read King's Cage, which is the third book in the Red Queen series. I feel like the sci-fi and why do I talk like that? I feel like the sci-fi, there is no antimemetics. I feel like I had so much fun with that I kind of would like to round it out with another sci-fi. So I'm gonna take these 20 minutes to figure out what I'm gonna read next, but I'm also just gonna take a break because I'm really hungry and I kind of want to go make something and like take my time making it versus like rushing. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. And then when I come back, I will update you on what we're reading for the last leg of this challenge. I keep holding this up like it's this. I guess it's gonna be this. I don't know. I don't know. I think the universe decided for me. Just saying. Quick reading update. We are 108 pages or 37% into Mal goes to war. I ended up finding the audiobook on Libby because I had to make dinner. So I put the audiobook on. But I actually am really liking the audiobook. I like the narrator so far. This is fucking hilarious, by the way. You follow Mal, who is he's AI, but they prefer to be referred to as silico humans. And he can like bop from body to body if they have the appropriate like hardware or whatever in their head. But he doesn't like it. He doesn't like being inside of humans. He would rather just be like an info space. So at the start of the book, there's some type of battle going on, and Mal is like, I think he's just peeping on the battle. I don't think he's involved in the battle. You know what I mean? And you find out that there are the humanists, which are people who refuse all types of alterations. There we go. Um, or modifications. There we go. They refuse modifications. And then you have the Federalists who modify, right? Like they do stuff to themselves with technology. And there's some type of war going on because I guess at some point the Federalists or the government was trying to make everybody somewhat of a cyborg, sort of. I'm using cyborg very loosely here. And there was obviously a portion of the population that was like, no, we don't want this. And it's just become like an all-out civil war, basically. And so Mal finds a body to jump into, but a little girl ends up catching him once he's in the body, and she's like, that body was in charge of taking care of me and making sure nothing happened to me, so now you have to do that. And Mal is so, this book is really funny. The little girl Kaylee, hilarious. She's so fucking sassy in the best way possible. Like she cusses everybody out, and she has no problem beating the shit out of people with a bat. I really like Kaylee. And then you have Asher, who is a humanist, and then and Kaylee is augmented. So she's not I guess you could say she's a Federalist, right? And then you have Mal, who's like literally just trying to get back to info space. Like he just doesn't want to be in a human body anymore. The silico humans call the silico Americans call the humans monkeys. Intra monkey battles. Like they just are so fucking ignorant. Anyways, and then they end up with this like other person because Mal has to jump bodies. So they end up with somebody different, and his name is Chuck. And so Chuck and Mal are sharing a brain because Mal can't be in anybody else's body because he hasn't found one yet. But he can't take over Chuck's brain because Chuck doesn't have the appropriate hardware. He can only like share the brain. It's very interesting. And they're kind of like on a trek, and I think they're trying to get somewhere, but I honestly couldn't tell you where they're trying to go. But it's so fucking funny. Like the banter amongst all of them is just fucking hilarious. Like they're so sarcastic and like the mean funny, but not the mean funny that hurts your feelings. The mean funny that's like really funny. I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. I like all the characters so far. Like none of them are annoying me. I just don't remember where they're trying to go. If I'm being honest. Like I know at the beginning they said where they were going, but I kind of forgot because I've been having so much fun listening to them like tear into each other jokingly that I just kind of forgot where they're going. But I'm sure it'll come up again. And then I can remember. But I'm having a great time so far. That was anticlimactic. Timer's done. Sorry. That was anticlimactic. I was so absorbed in getting back to the audiobook. I didn't pay attention. But that is the end of our 8 hours for today, for Sunday. I'm 58% into Mal Goes to War. So about 165 pages. I'm having a great time. I'm having so much fun to the point where, although I've been reading for 8 hours again today and 24 hours over the course of the last 3 days, I do intend to keep reading this for a little bit longer. It's so much fun. The characters are so quirky and funny and just like snarky, but there's also like a real plot. Again, I don't really know where they're trying to get to. If I'm being honest, I think they're still trying to get to the info space so that Mal can leave Chuck's body. I think if this ends up being like a huge battle at the end and they got to fight the Federalists or whatever, the augmented people and the humanists, I'm still going to be having fun. It's just a really well-written book. It's a lot of fun. I love the female characters. I like the guys and I like Mal. I don't know what Mal is, to be honest. I'm having a ton of fun. I'm having a great time. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me this weekend. And I'm pretty sure I went through like a tiny little snippet of what each book was about. So we're going to end the vlog there. As usual, when I do a reading wrap up, I'll go into like a little bit more detail about my thoughts on the books. But yeah, it was a really good weekend. It was a very good weekend full of really good books. I'm really proud of myself for being disciplined enough to like stick to my June TBR. There's only one book I haven't read yet. And honestly, I don't know if it's a lost cause yet. We still have a couple of days left, right? In June. I think we have like a week left. So I might end up reading it. Not sure yet. But I read so many good books. I read 6 good books. Well, 5.5 because I haven't finished this one. But I don't think there wasn't a single book that I was like not enjoying my time when I was reading it. So that's really good. I can't wait to do this again. I don't know. The next time I do this, it'll have to be like 12 and 12. Because I don't know that I would have another 3-day weekend again for a while. But we did a good job. We hung out. We did good work today. Let me know if you've read any of the books that we read in this vlog. Let me know what you thought of them. Even if you didn't like them, I'm totally fine with that. But yeah, let me know if you've read any of them. And yeah, I'll see you guys for the next video. As always, happy reading.